Osteen's Church. We hear from Osteen's sister in Victoria.
One person dead and 11 others hurt following a crash at an Austin medical center.
And we hear from Republican candidate A.J. Louderback in his bid for state representative in District 30.
For the next couple of days, we'll be watching the clouds roll up from the south. This is the subtropical jet giving us the cloud deck and then the rain chance, which will be on Friday. We'll talk more about it coming up in a moment.
And Victoria East Soccer, and it was ladies by district playoff round. We'll have scores and updates coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. The DPS arrested this man, 68-year-old William Boehm, on 2 counts of online solicitation of a minor. A spokesperson says he was communicating online with someone he thought was 16. He tried to meet up with the child victim at a predetermined location where he was met with law enforcement officers instead.
Victoria police arrested a suspect facing charges in 3 counties. 26-year-old Serena Barber faces 1 charge in Karnes County and 2 charges in Jackson County. She was taken into custody on a Victoria County charge of evading arrest and detention. Barber is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $111,500 bond. Federal agents helped arrest a suspect in Jackson County Tuesday afternoon. Homeland Security agents and U.S. Marshals took part in arresting 41-year-old Daryl National of Edna. There is a warrant for his arrest on manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance with an additional charge of possession of a controlled substance. This week, we're introducing you to the District 30 Republican primary candidates. The former Jackson County Sheriff A.J. Louderback says he is prepared to solve the crisis at the border. He's endorsed by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Sheriff Louderback also has thoughts about teacher pay raises.
I know that the allotment of money per kid, $6,100, is still too low. I know the teachers' pay is too low. But I'm not willing to put school choice in place unless public schools are made whole. I don't want to destabilize public schools.
Tomorrow on 25 News Now at 5, we'll have District 30 Republican primary candidate Brett Baldwin live. And on Friday, we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Jeff Bouknight live as well. The Republican primary winner will face Democrat Stephanie Basham in the November election. She is running unopposed in the Democratic primary election. We hope you'll join us.
Victoria County Republican women hosted a forum for Republican candidates in state and local races tonight. All 4 District 30 Republican candidates, Sheriff Dustin Barr and more, spoke at the event. The candidates shared their views as Republicans. Also, they discussed important topics such as border security. VCRW was more than excited to see so many candidates show up.
We hoped it would be this big. So we're glad to see those hopes realized. And we are very pleased with the caliber of candidates that are in the field right now.
VCRW says they are pleased with the candidates. Also, they shared their pride in the turnout. 150 people, and most of the candidates showed up to support the event at Club Westerner. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. We were watching earlier all this video of the snowstorm in New York City.
Oh, to have snow.
Yes. Well, that sounds nice.
For us, right?
You know, I kind of like what we've got here.
Nah, you know, your Valentine tomorrow doesn't want to deal with the snowshoes, you know? So we're okay. We're going to be fine. We have this frontal system, though, that by Thursday, that's tomorrow, the front will start pushing into Texas, and it's going to bump into a lot of this tropical moisture that's coming in as well. So it's kind of a big collision that's going to happen on top of us. And what we get is pretty heavy rain on Friday. We'll talk more about that, figure out how long it's going to be here coming up in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. The U.S. House voted to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the Biden administration's handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. The Republican majority was determined to try again to impeach Mayorkas after having failed last week. Tuesday evening's vote was tight, even with the arrival of Majority Leader Steve Scalise, who has been away from Washington for cancer care.
An Amber Alert is still active out of Houston. The victim is 1-year-old Noah Johnson. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt and flower print pants. The suspect is 38-year-old Camila Johnson. The suspect is driving a white 2007 GMC Yukon license plate number STM 7097. Call 911 with information. More details have come out about the woman police say opened fire at Pastor Joel Osteen's megachurch in Texas, causing chaos. Her son was also shot.
Here's more on the police investigation as well as the shooter's past.
This morning, new video reveals the terrifying scene inside Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch, Lakewood, during a shooting rampage that wounded 2. The shooter, who was killed inside the church, is now identified as 36-year-old Genesis Moreno. She brought her 7-year-old biological son with her Sunday. Police say it's unclear who shot the boy, but confirmed he sustained a severe head wound. Parishioners seen trying to escape and screaming in terror. Gunshots going off just as a Spanish service was about to begin at Osteen's church, home to one of the largest congregations in the U.S.
She immediately starts firing inside of the hallway. Multiple rounds are fired by her, at which point Officer Moreno of the Houston Police Department, as well as TABC Agent Herrera, return fire. She eventually falls to the ground. The 7-year-old child falls to the ground as well from gunfire.
2 weapons were recovered at the scene, including an AR-15. Anti-Semitic writings were found on the shooter.
There was a sticker on the buttstock of the rifle that stated Palestine.
Authorities say one of the weapons was bought legally in December. The shooter obtaining the guns despite her history of mental illness and arrest dating back to 2005 on charges including assault.
Houston's police chief directly told me they are now aware of the shooter's mental health history and they are delving into it. But when we directly pressed the FBI about how somebody with this kind of criminal history could get a hold of not just 1 but 2 guns, they sidestepped that question and said it is now a part of their larger investigation. Mireya Villarreal, ABC News, Houston, Texas.
A Victoria pastor has a close connection to the Lakewood Church in Houston. Pastor Tamara Graff from Faith Family Church is the big sister of Pastor Joel Osteen.
25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick spoke with her this afternoon and has more.
Her 90-year-old mother texted her about the shooting before the news broke. Pastor Tamara Graff was shocked when she found out her family could have been in danger. Pastor Graff did not only fear for her family, she's scared of the rising numbers of these public shootings as well.
We know what's happening in schools and theaters and malls and in different places, you know, so I think it's just, it puts concern and really a desire to be safe and to, you know, up your security measures in public places like this, especially church.
Pastor Graff says Faith Family Church prioritizes the security of their church members. She is thankful for the team working hard at their services and their academy. The church had one scare in March of last year and local authorities were right on top of the incident. Though the incident was only a scare, she believes Faith Family Church is prepared to keep everyone safe. Also, she says the church cannot stop evil, but they trust in God and will be prepared should it arise. Don, Karina, back to you.
1 person is dead and at least 11 others are injured after a vehicle drove into the emergency room at St. David's North Austin Medical Center Tuesday evening around 5:38 p.m. Witnesses say the crash sounded like an explosion. Video of the panic scene shows people running through the emergency room lobby as the vehicle's tires continue to spin, causing a screeching sound. It's unclear what led up to the crash into the building, but Austin police say it does not appear to be intentional.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will be in a Houston court Friday in a nearly 9-year-old securities fraud case he now wants dismissed. The Dallas Morning News reports Paxton could face trial as early as April 15th. His lawyers are asking a judge to toss the case. Paxton is accused of 2 felony fraud charges for reportedly asking investors to join a Collin County tech company without saying that he was being paid for the work.
Highway 59 is the primary transportation route in the Crossroads area.
Well, now after many decades of service, the highway is in need of an upgrade. 25 News Now's Trey Mining has more.
U.S. Highway 59 is over 40 years old. The decades-old design cannot handle the current traffic load the roadway sees every day. LaShawn Kirkendall with the Texas Department of Transportation says a highway upgrade is underway. The goal is to improve the areas where law enforcement sees too many crashes.
And TxDOT is currently designing a project that includes replacing the bridges over the railroad as well as relocating Telfner Overpass.
This exit has seen a number of vehicle crashes. The outdated design can contribute to the safety issues.
This project is still about 3 to 4 years out. The intent of the project will be to bring the section of roadway up to current design standards, resulting in improved safety in that area.
The entire US 59 corridor through Texas is designed to become Interstate 69. TxDOT will work on small sections at a time.
Here locally, we've completed some small segments around Victoria, the city of Victoria, but we will not be able to sign it as I-69 until the entire segment is completed.
This project will take decades to complete.
But based on where we are today, I can safely say that it's going to be approximately 20 years or more to complete this effort.
Trey Mining, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote. Here's the question. Do you consider the area near the Telfner exit dangerous? Yes or no? 77% say yes, it is dangerous.
Thank you for voting tonight.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so when you're on YouTube, you can get Crossroads Today. Stay with us. A fight on a Southwest Airlines plane headed to Hawaii broke out between two passengers. The details coming up on 25 News Now at 10.
Also ahead, one arrest has been made in the case of a stolen Jackie Robinson statue.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information about an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. On February 11, 2024 at 3:30 a.m., gunshots were fired from an unknown vehicle into a gray Buick four-door car at the 4500 block of Port Lavaca Drive. The gray Buick had just left a local bar in the area. Two people inside the gray Buick were shot. The two victims were treated for non-life-threatening injuries at a local hospital. If you have any information about this aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. On behalf of Victoria Crime Stoppers, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Were detained after a fight broke out on a plane out of Oakland bound for Hawaii. KXAS reports it happened on a Southwest Airlines flight Monday morning, and there they go. Passengers said the fight broke out about an hour into the flight, but it's unclear exactly what led to the fight. Other passengers quickly pulled the two apart, and both men were detained after the flight landed in Hawaii. It's unclear if they were charged. Some studies have recently discussed cocoa as an option to help memory problems.
However, new research shows that chocolate may not be the best option.
If you find yourself forgetting basic things as you grow older, there can be some options to help. Some experts have looked at diet and supplements as potential ways to improve cognition, and that includes cocoa extract. But a new study shows we may be able to drop that one from the list. Researchers from Brigham and Women's Hospital did not find that cocoa extract consumption improves cognition, memory, or high-level mental skills. More research is needed, but even if it's not good for memory, cocoa does contain antioxidants and may have other health benefits. And there are other factors such as physical activity, staying social, and getting good sleep that can help with cognitive performance. Talk to your doctor if your memory is interfering with your daily life. With this Medical Minute, I'm Em Nguyen, ABC News.
Police made one arrest in the case of the stolen Jackie Robinson statue in Wichita. A 45-year-old man is currently being held on several charges in connection to the theft at League 42 last month, including aggravated criminal damage to property. Police say there's no indication that the robbery was a hate-motivated crime, but rather to scrap metal for money. Additionally, investigators are still working to identify others involved in the statue's theft.
We know from the surveillance video that there were at least 3 individuals there when the statue was taken, and we know it was taken somewhere where other individuals were present. So I'm not going to give a firm number on how many people we're looking for. I'll tell you we will continue the investigation until we're confident that everyone has been identified and held accountable for their actions.
The Sedgwick County District Attorney's Office says the suspect made his first court appearance this afternoon.
Some children are still struggling with math after the pandemic, but schools are trying a new approach. You can read the Texas Tribune article on our website, crossroadstoday.com.
And we are looking at, of course, this evening, temperatures are going to be not as cold tonight because the south wind has returned. We're getting only 51 right now. Last night, we were already in the 40s. Tomorrow we'll get up to a nice 68, 69 high temperature, and this is good. But the thing is, you're going to start seeing more and more clouds. So your Valentine's Day will be fine. It's Thursday when the clouds get thick, and Friday is when the rain gets here. We'll be talking about that right after this.
A serious challenge prowls many streets across Victoria County. Roaming and stray animals pose a risk to the community, and finding their owners often impossible.
The animals that don't have a voice, that's what we're there for, to help, you know.
So what's being done to ensure the safety of our streets and these lost or abandoned pets? Join me, reporter Lupi Zapata, for Safe Streets, Safe Pets, a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
Well, good evening, everybody. A beautiful sunny day today. Tomorrow, not so bad, but then the clouds are going to be getting thicker over the area. You can sort of see them at sundown. They started coming up from the south, and that's actually where it's all coming from. In fact, if you take a look at the wider picture, you can see how this tropical moisture coming up from the Pacific is riding up high in the atmosphere, coming over northern Mexico and then into our area. This is going to give us, between tomorrow and Thursday, a lot of moisture that piles up over the area. And then when that frontal system arrives from the north, well, it's going to be a collision there, and that collision is going to give us some rain. Overnight low temperatures, not as cold. We got down to 40 this morning. We're going to be only about 50 tomorrow morning because of the south wind that has kicked in. And tomorrow's afternoon temperatures should be in the upper 60s to almost 70 degrees. There you see the southeast wind. That is a big sign. I mean, it's like this. Which way the wind blows determines the weather. So coming up, it's going to be warmer, and we're going to start seeing more humidity, more cloud cover, and it sets the stage for the rain. Now, here's Future Tracker. We go from your Tuesday evening over into Wednesday evening, and you can see how by tomorrow night the clouds will get pretty thick over much of southwest Texas. And then we go into Thursday, and you can see how it's all on top of us, where you're saying, well, where's the rain? Well, here's the rain. It comes up on Friday, and that's why we're looking for that possibility of rainfall here, because here's the frontal system coming down, and the two are going to sort of collide. Now, the interesting part of this whole storm complex is that the heaviest rain is going to be in deep South Texas. So south of San Antonio all the way down to the valley, they're going to be getting probably 3 to 5 inches of rain, whereas we're looking at about an inch of rain here in the Victoria area. And this whole swath is going to go that direction. Then the good news is that by Saturday morning it blows away. Now here's what Future Tracker thinks in terms of how much rain will we get. Well, you see us right there in the blue, and you can see up here that's 1 inch in the blue. And then of course the next question is down here out in Ensenal headed toward Laredo, they're looking at 4 or 5 inches of rain. Now I don't know that they might have some minor flooding, but the ground is so dry, they're ready for whatever rain they can get. Here's another view of it. High pressure was today. That's going to go away. Then the frontal system comes down and the moisture runs up, and it goes kablooey on Friday. And then by Saturday, the front does move south, and then by Sunday, we've got a beautiful, crisp day. The thing is, it's going to be chilly for only a couple of days. I'll tell you why. Now, tomorrow morning, partly cloudy in the morning to cloudy in the afternoon as we get that southeast wind, high of 66 down in Calhoun County. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy in the morning and then very cloudy in the afternoon, also getting up to 68 in the Cuero area. Now, your Wednesday for Valentine's Day and for, was it Ash Wednesday? Will be good. Thursday, we see the clouds and maybe a little mist. All of the rain should be on Friday. Then Saturday morning, it clears up, and it's going to be chilly here the weekend, down to 35 at night. But, after that, like next week, we'll be in the 80s. Hello, spring has sprung. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone, and you can get all the sports news that Zach is about to bring you.
And I also have an update on the by-district round in the girls' playoffs, who's moving on and who's going home. I'll have that coming up in sports. Well, before we get to some basketball, we have a state champion in the Crossroads, and that is Jackson from St. Joseph High School. Jackson is only a sophomore, and he just won gold in the state 200-meter freestyle, and he also took home silver medal honors in the 500-meter freestyle. Congrats to Jackson on bringing some hardware back to Flyer Nation. Some other teams, these teams out on the hardwood, trying to bring home some hardware. The Shining Girls got their postseason started a little early. They played last night, and they are by-district champs, beating the Thorndale Bulldogs 54-25. Shiner ranked in the top 10 for a large portion of this year, have not lost since early December. The Victoria East girls, they may have lost the first seed, didn't matter. They bounced back wonderfully in their by-district round, pounding the Cigaroa Toros 64-40. The East Titans poised to go deep in this postseason. Another team that lost the first seed, the Edna Cowgirls, didn't matter for them either in the by-district round. Easy win over the Marion Bulldogs 63-41. On to the area round they go as well. The team that they lost that one seed to, the Hallettsville ladies, putting a by-district trophy in their case, destroying Nixon Smiley 78-25. And we can't forget about the Cuero girls, who traveled to face the Navarro Panthers. Head coach Amy Crane, fresh off her 200th career victory, add one more. They played great defense in their 45-27 win. Over on the boys' side of things, the Cuero boys fighting for their playoff lives, needing a big win over YMLA. Dalen Gibbs is going to extend their modest fourth quarter lead to give them some breathing room, but the Lions, who beat Cuero the first time, trying to come back, made the Gobblers sweat just a little bit in the fourth quarter, but the guys do hang on. They win 60-44, and they will have a play-in game against Fox Tech. Do they have another win in them? We also had some soccer here in the city. The East girls taking on the Miller Buccaneers, and this right here is a great shot, an even better save, but way to stay with it and send it through the back of the net. Two girls on the day for Addison Padilla. Lena Colas had 4 goals. Carolina Bro had 1. Ayana Cooley and Lydia Traxler shut Miller down to just 1 goal in the game, and the boys handled their business as well. Isaiah Lopez and Manny Garcia with a goal apiece. Steven Gonzalez knocked 2 in the back of the net. Jaden Aguirre and Pedro Gavina each had assists. Kaysen Jackson and Josh Chaput slammed the door shut at goalkeeper. Also of note in boys basketball, the Bulldogs of Yoakum, they went from 3-11 last year to 11-3 this year, their first winning season in 20 years, and it's their first time in the postseason in 18 years. Impressive stuff in Yoakum. Dawn and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather. Plus, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And
really?
Yeah, we have you prepared up next.
Tomorrow, love will be in the air. It's Valentine's Day. The holiday was believed to have started long ago. It came from the feast for the patron saints. Valentine, yes, he's the painting saint. Historians tell the story of one saint who married couples in secret to prevent men from going to war. In the 1400s, the day became associated with romance. The average person is expected to spend more than $100 showering their loved ones with gifts.
I know that's right.
I escaped.
And speaking of showers, New York City saw its first significant snow in more than 2 years. More than 3 inches fell in Central Park, turning it into a winter wonderland there.
Oh, look at that doggy.
All kinds of people, pets, and children out there enjoyed the snow. New York City public schools were closed today, but rather than a snow day, it was a remote learning day for
That's such a
students.
bummer.
And what happened to snow days? Like we are complaining about snow days in South
Now
Texas.
the kids have to learn regardless if they have to stay at home or not.
That's right. Oh,
Modern technology.
welcome to 2024.
One of the downsides.
No more goofing around making snowmen.
But we don't have that problem here
No,
with the snow.
not quite at all, except back in 1958, some folks called to remind me that there was snow on Valentine's Day here in Victoria, but I wasn't there. I was
1895 and 1958?
1895 and 1958, both on the same day.
You know, if you rearrange 1895, it can be 1958.
But that was the whole thing to the story.
Oh, I didn't know. You never mentioned that. I didn't even
The
think
same
about it.
dates, the same numbers is like, ooh. So we've had snow days here in the past. Well, here's your forecast for tomorrow for those of you lucky to out there, except Zach. He doesn't celebrate Valentine's Day.
I'm not a Grinch.
He's a Grinch.
He's stuck in Christmas.
We're looking at generally fair skies, but clouds will be on the increase tomorrow. The big clouds arrive on Thursday, and Friday should be a fairly wet day. Keep that in mind if you've got anything out to do outdoors, but then it clears up just in time on Saturday for the weekend, wherein it's going to get a little chilly for at least 2-3 days.
Thank you, Mac. And finally tonight, Milwaukee bakeries are serving up some delicious treats on this Fat Tuesday. These deep fried goodies are called Poochkies. The baked donuts are stuffed with different flavors after they are fried in deep oil. This bakery has served up the traditional treat since 1977.
It's constant and it's for days at a time. So it's all day long for 3 days, constant punchkis. It's very gratifying. After all that hard work, people are filing in and they're buying them and enjoying them.
The sweets are offered on Fat Tuesday, the traditional day where people indulge before the Christian season of Lent begins.
Now, the traditional reason for making Poochkies was to use up all of the lard, sugar, eggs, and fruit in the house because their consumption was forbidden by Christian fasting practices during Lent.
For Lent, couldn't do that.
There you go.
Put away all the lard, okay?
Alrighty, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join us for 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.